I'm Alexandra Proca, and I am here, the host of the Be Inspired, Be Empowered video series with women in localization. I'm excited to kick off the New Year series with a guest who has truly witnessed us at our most vulnerable and helped us transform those moments into powerful catalysts for growth. Ruth Alexandor is a professional certified coach with the International Coach Federation based in Toronto, Canada. She has decades of experience guiding individuals through their personal and professional journeys. She focuses on people, leaders in middle management, and she has supported hundreds of people in navigating learning, growth, and change, specializing in the unique challenges of leading from the middle, as well as supporting leaders through transitions and grief as a result of organizational restructuring, terminations of colleagues, moving, divorce, and death of loved ones. Her expertise in behavioral change has made a lasting impact on many careers. Ruth is the mother of three adult young children, stays active at the gym, hikes and plays tennis 5 days a week in the summer and cross-country skis in the winter, so she's very busy, is an avid reader of nonfiction and has had an intentional meditation practice to support productivity and overall happiness. Ruth, welcome. Such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Alexandra. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. Thank you for inviting me. As you know, I'm passionate about developing leaders and delighted to be sharing with the women in localization.
It's great to have you. And we shall tell our listeners that you are based in Canada. You work with clients all over the world, and now you're actually working from Panama. So you're very connected with the world.
Thank you. Yes, I am.
So throughout your career, you have had really a worldwide view of a large variety of people in all levels of corporate life. So from what you have seen, I would like to invite you to identify and then dispel one of the most common and misunderstood myths about leadership.
A tough question right out of the gate. Thanks, Alexandra. There are so many myths to dispel. I want to first start with the myth of leaders' role is to problem solve, have all the answers. I actually believe leaders' role is to collaborate with their team to identify the best path forward rather than having all the answers. If leaders have all the answers, the team is simply executing on what the leader's vision is, rather than collaborating to go beyond the sum of 1 + 1 and the opportunity to create new possibilities and deepen the engagement. I have another one. Can I slide one more in?
Of course.
The myth of one size fits all leadership. So some people come to coaching saying, I want to be a visionary leader, an authoritarian leader, a democratic leader, a bureaucratic leader, and so on. I'm a huge advocate of situational leadership. No one size fits all. And the leader's role is to support their team in where they're at to help develop them using directive and supportive behaviors, depending on what they need to move along and develop them. 2 myths for the price of 1.
Great. Thank you. Good ROI. So basically what you're saying is that leadership is also a conversation. Of course, we've moved away, hopefully, from the authoritarian leadership model, right? So what you're seeing now is more a direction towards that conversation. So because you have worked with a lot of and helped a lot of people in middle management, I would like to ask you, what would be the first 3 steps that someone just promoted in a middle management role could take to lay out a solid foundation for future success in the current role that they just achieved and then future promotion?
It all starts with the growth mindset. So getting curious, being humble, always learning, admit when you're wrong, consider feedback as a gift. So to be very open to learn That's the fundamental premise, I believe, for people who are being promoted in any role, whether they're first-time leaders, senior leaders, is to continue to learn and have that growth mindset.
Suppose someone is in the middle management, would like to progress, but somehow doesn't have the resources and the tools to progress. Have you seen a pattern into the why? Or again, the case studies are as diverse as people.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to situational leadership that I referenced before. If your leader isn't guiding you in situational leadership, generally there are 3 reasons potentially that you are stalling. One is around your skill level and competence. So how do you build up those skills in order to promote? So to be curious, to explore, to find out what are the skill levels and skills and competence that you need to get to the next level. Sometimes people stall out because they lose motivation or commitment to the process. And so that's a growth mindset situation. So what do you need to do to become inspired again, to grow? And then the third is around confidence. And our confidence is often very closely linked to our competence. When we know how to do something, when we have those skills, we're often confident. So those are the 3 areas I would say to explore.
That's a wonderful categorization. I would like to tackle a little bit the women issue, right? There's this a lot of women tend to get stuck there in the middle. And by again, let's redefine stuck means they want to be somewhere else and they feel like they cannot get past that level. And you approach the competence and the confidence. Have you seen that women get more often stuck there? And how does it play into the 3 components that you just laid out?
Based on the research of, and I may butcher her name, Patty Kay and Claire Shipman, in the book Confidence Code: The Science and Art of Self-Assurance, What Women Should Know. So that's the title of the book. Confidence is the bridge between thoughts and actions. So the invitation is to step up in this male-dominated competitive world by self-promotion and self-initiative. In fact, the research based on their book says that women apply only 50% of women apply to jobs that they think that they could achieve, aspire to. Men, 90%. That's around self-confidence. So back to embracing that growth mindset, get curious, continue to learn, believe in yourself.
I want to ask about a very high level question about coaching. A lot of people who come into coaching ask themselves, what coaching is not?
Okay. I want to start actually with what coaching is, if I may, and I want to give you I'm looking for the definition of coaching. Based on the International Coach Federation, it defines coaching as partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. That's based on the premise that all of us are creative, resourceful, and whole, and we actually have the answers within us. It's the coach's role to partner with us to help explore what is in our attention, what is outside of our attention. So that's coaching. Coaching also focuses on, I'm here today and I want to be somewhere else tomorrow. It's goal-oriented, it's future-oriented. Consulting, so what is coaching not? Consulting, which is about giving expert advice. Coaches do not give expert advice. That's not our role. Mentoring, most of us mentor, coach people who we've never been in their industry, never been in their, we're certainly not them. So we don't understand them. We're there to partner with them to help them grow. So it's not mentoring. We haven't walked in their shoes. And counseling or therapy, which is more about emotional support and a structure to explore and resolve personal issues, healing the past. That's not what coaching is.
Coaching, I feel, is not, I feel, I know coaching is a way to help yourself with someone else's help find the answers within yourself.
Beautifully said. Exactly, Alexandra.
Yeah. So, what is the best career advice you can give to someone you can think of? I know this is very general. I'm putting you in a corner with this question, but there must be something, one thing that unites us all.
Well, I would say I don't generally give advice, but my children may argue with that. They may tell you that I give them advice. But I think that the premise of there's no one size fits all in advice. And if at the risk of repeating myself, I'll go back to embrace that growth mindset, curiosity, humbleness, the humility to learn, to fall forward, to admit when you're wrong, to seek feedback. That's the piece that I think, for me personally, has been the biggest learning journey.
How do you personally define success?
My North Star value is connection. So for me to nurture deep and meaningful relationships that foster intimate connection with clients and with friends and with, of course, my family, to inspire continuous growth and learning. And that's really at the core of the work that I do, the way that I live my life, the relationships that I have with my children, with my friends, and with all of the people that I have the fortune to touch.
Oh, yeah, that's so powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely. So, in your practice, have you seen what's the ratio of women identified, male identified people that you see?
Well, I happen to work in many male-dominated sectors, tech, finance, engineering, professional services, where I really see a 50-50 split. And I think it has much more to do with somebody's mindset and their willingness to learn and grow rather than whether they're male or female. Their self-awareness that they want to be different.
Would you please name one stereotype that you don't like about women and that you try to tear down through your work?
Well, women are as capable and in fact bring incredible strengths to leadership, including emotional intelligence, collaboration, and empathy that are complementary to male-oriented strengths. So according to a McKinsey report in 2019, it found that companies with more women in decision-making roles outperform those companies with fewer women in leadership, showing a clear link between diversity in leadership and organizational success. So bring on the women.
We're here. We are here doing great work. So I would like to move on to a few personal inspiration questions. You raised 3 children while developing a career. Tell us about one key challenging moment when you felt like this work-life balance was a little off, and what did you do to address it, to bring things back to balance?
Well, I was a single mom when my kids were very young. They were 8, 6, and 3 when my marriage ended. And it was a challenging time, to be honest, for me. I was juggling 50 plus hours of work, working in professional services, running a household, aspiring to have a social life. And the piece that I very much struggled with was I was always ahead in my mind. I wasn't present with my family. And dare I say, perhaps not present at work. Because when I was at work, I was thinking of, were the kids getting picked up? Did they have their boots? Did they have their lunches and so on? I wish I had the foresight of being more present. That's the piece that today I would say has been the biggest thing that I would have done differently.
Was there a time during that challenging time when the kids were little, you were developing your career, that you wanted to quit? And what did you do?
I almost did quit. I was really overwhelmed with work and life. And what we would now call burnout. I vividly remember sitting in my HR colleague's office and sharing with her that I needed time off. I couldn't keep going. And of course, she was supportive of me and said, "Go home, think about it." I went home. I called my closest girlfriend, my board of directors, and shared with her that I was struggling. She is a disability psychiatrist, a workplace disability psychiatrist, and her, in her therapeutic way, said to me lovingly, "Ruthie, you got to figure this out and get your butt back to work. You're a single mom and you don't have the luxury of quitting your job." So that really shook me up. I thought, I don't have an option. I've got to figure out how to get back to work. The following day, I reached out to the phenomenal Blanchard coach, Linda Miller, and she offered to coach me. And this actually changed my career and the trajectory of my entire life. So much gratitude goes out to Linda.
Wow, amazing to have a support system around us, right? Like, who doesn't let us quit even when we feel we need to. And I think those are good friends, and that's a good support system, to know when to be kind and tread with care, and to know when to push you. And it looks like you got the right push at the right time, coupled with a good coaching support as well.
Yeah, thank you.
So along the same line, if you have one situation where you hesitated, did not make the right decisions, you wish things turned out differently, with the mindset that you have today, what would you do different if the same situation occurred in your life?
Daniel Pink wrote the book, The Power of Regret, How Looking Backwards Moves Us Forward. And he, through his research, has discovered that we actually regret inaction over action. So it's not what we did, it's what we didn't do. And I would say now, with the confidence I have in myself, I wish I had had the strength to live in the alignment with my values and had the courage to walk away from both work and personal relationships that were not serving me. So now I get to live in that abundance mindset and be the happiest person that I can possibly be.
Oh my gosh, I love this abundance mindset. I think I'm gonna put it on top of my workspace area. Abundance. Oh my gosh, that's such a powerful word. Let's end with a few rapid fire questions. Tell us a quote that resonates with you and why.
Probably the quote that I state the most is from Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. Between stimulus and response, there's a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. It gives us back the control. We don't have to respond in a victim mindset. There's so many options from the time that you're triggered to the time that you respond. It's finding that space. So I would say that that's probably my most favorite quote. I also, of course, I'm going to throw in a second, which is from Dr. Brene Brown's book, Dare to Lead, which is clear is kind, unclear is unkind. So to give clear and fair feedback.
Awesome quotes. Thank you. what book is on your nightstand now? You probably have one at all times. What is it today?
I have many on my book stand, but the two that the one that is open right now is called The Transformational Coach by Claire Norman. And that's because I'm working now on my master certified coaching level accreditation. In my book club, we just finished The Long Island Compromise by Taffy Burdesker Ackner. So those are, I haven't picked up the next one, but I will shortly. Can I sneak in just a couple of others?
Go ahead.
So one that really changed the way that I look, a couple that really changed the way that I look at the world. Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. 10% Happier by Dan Harris, and Into the Magic Shop by James Doty. All three of those are, for me, were very instrumental in my looking at the world through an abundance mindset.